Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to be reading the book Deadliest Animals. Deadly surprises. Huge teeth. Check. Razor sharp claws. Check. Fast and fierce. Check. The African lion has all the features we'd expect to find in one of the world's deadliest animals. These powerful predators are skillful stalkers that usually hunt together in groups called prides and can take down prey 10 times their size. That's why people often call lions the kings of the jungle. But are lions the deadliest animals of all? Not quite. Lions certainly score on the deadliest list, but they don't take the number one spot. And if you think all of the Earth's most dangerous creatures are big, fierce hunters, you're in for some surprises. Surprise one. Some deadly animals eat only plants. Red kangaroos spend their days quietly nibbling on grasses, but when they feel threatened, watch out. A hard kick in the chest can break a person's ribs and collapse their lungs. Eek. Surprise two. Some deadly animals are smaller than the palm of your hand. Oak processionary sounds like processionary caterpillars are only 2 inches long, but beware of their hairy bristles. They can cause rashes, asthma attacks, and even deadly allergic reactions. Deadly definitions. Allergic, when the body responds to something with a rash, trouble breathing, or even death. Venom is a poisonous liquid inside animals' bodies. Surprise number three. Some deadly animals may be closer than you think. Rattlesnakes live throughout the United States, and they bite about 8,000 people each year. Even though rattlesnake venom is deadly, most people get treated quickly and survive. Mighty hunters. Polar bears. The polar bear is the largest land predator alive today. Like a lion, a polar bear is a killer hunter that knows exactly when and how to hunt. The clever carnivore looks for a hole in the ice and waits. When a seal comes up for air, the polar bear pounces and grabs the seal with its sharp teeth. Deadly definitions. A carnivore, an animal that eats the meat of other animals. Saltwater crocodiles. Saltwater crocodiles are just as fierce as polar bears and just as patient too. Lurking below the water's surface, a croc lies in wait for its prey. When an unsuspecting animal passes by, the 1,000-pound beast explodes out of the water and grabs its victims and drags it under the water to drown. Yikes. Deadly definitions. It says prey, an animal that is eaten by other animals. Death toll. The saltwater crocodile is the most deadly large predator. It can easily take down a water buffalo and has even been known to kill sharks off the coast of Australia. Big and brutal. Hippopotamuses. Hippopotamuses are usually gentle giants. During the day, they lounge and snooze in shallow water holes. At night, they lumber onto land and munch on grasses and leaves. But if a boat gets between a hippo and the deep water or between a mother and her calf, the animal will panic. It may tip over the boat and attack the passengers with its powerful jaws. A hippo can't outrun you on land and outswim you in the water. You don't stand a chance against an angry hippo. Elephants. Like hippos, elephants are usually calm, peaceful animals, but when an elephant feels threatened, it will attack. The huge herbivore can stab enemies with its tusks and crush them with its feet. Sometimes it grabs an attacker with its trunk and tosses the possible threat into the air. Elephants are the largest animals on land, so they can do a lot of damage. Deadly definitions: herbivore, an animal that eats plants. Cape buffaloes. Large herds of Cape buffaloes graze hour after hour on thick grasses. It might seem like they're focusing on their food, but they're also on the lookout for danger. When these huge, hulking animals feel angry or scared, they charge at enemies with their heads down. Often, they charge together as a group. A stampede of Cape buffaloes can kill predators quickly with their sharp hooves and hooked horns. Death toll. In Africa, Cape buffaloes are known as Black Death due to their dark color and ferocious nature. Scary snakes. About 3,000 species of snakes live on Earth, and most of them make venom. Snakes use venom to protect. Scary snakes. About 3,000 species of snakes live on Earth, and most of them make venom. Snakes use venom to kill prey and protect themselves from the enemies. Most snakes are too small or too shy to attack humans, but about 300 species can kill a person who's in the wrong place at the wrong time. Deadly definitions. Species. A group of similar creatures that can mate and produce healthy young. Toxic. Poisonous, capable of causing injury or death. Toxic tidbit. The Indian cobra's venom isn't as toxic as the venom of some other snakes, but it often lives close to people, and that makes it a major threat. Indian cobra bites kill thousands of people each year in Asia. The golden eyelash viper, green pit viper, and red diamond rattlesnake. Which snake is the deadliest of all? That's a hard question to answer. Hooknosed sea snake. This fish-hunting reptile lives in coastal waters and has the most poisonous venom of any snake. Just one drop can kill a person. Like other snakes, it has lungs and breathes air, but it can stay underwater up to 5 hours. Russell's viper. This snake lives in rice paddies and grassy areas of Asia and may bite farmers. Its venom isn't quite as toxic as the hook-nosed sea snake's venom, but it has more toxin in its body. That means it delivers more venom in each bite. Black mamba. Other snakes may have stronger venom, but the black mamba moves fast and it isn't afraid to attack. When an enemy gets too close, the black mamba raises its head high and hisses. If the predator doesn't back off, the snake strikes again and again. Ferocious fish. Great white shark. The great white shark is the largest meat-eating fish in the ocean. The sight of its huge mouth and 3,000 jagged teeth would send shivers up anyone's spine. What makes this shark so dangerous? Its super senses. It hears well and has excellent eyesight. Most important, its sense of smell is 10,000 times better than ours. Weird but true. A great white shark can smell tiny amounts of blood in the water up to 3 miles away. Stonefish. Stonefish are masters of disguise. Instead of swimming in search of food, they blend into their rocky surroundings and wait for prey to pass by. If a hungry predator grabs a stonefish or a person accidentally steps on one, 13 spiky spines deliver a painful blast of venom. The wound swells, the victim's muscles feel weak, and the area becomes paralyzed. If the person isn't treated, he or she could die. Paralyzed means unable to move. Pufferfish. When an enemy attacks, a pufferfish gulps water and blows up like a prickly balloon. But that's not the fish's only trick for protection. If a predator manages to take a bite of a pufferfish, it gets a mouthful of nasty tasting toxin. Yuck. Death toll. Even though a pufferfish has enough toxin to kill 30 people, some people like to take risks. They eat pufferfish prepared by specially trained chefs. Because the chef sometimes makes mistakes, the toxin kills about 100 people every year. 10 cool things about deadly animals. Number 1. Female lions do most of the hunting, but male lions always eat first. Number 2. On hot, sunny days, a crocodile pants like a dog to stay cool. Number 3. Most young fish are called fingerlings, but young sharks are called pups. Number 4. Baby hippopotamuses are born underwater. Number 5. If you shine a black light on a scorpion, it glows in the dark. Number 6. A jellyfish doesn't have a brain. Number 7. All snakes have teeth, but only snakes that make venom have fangs. Number 8. If an octopus loses an arm, another one will grow in its place. Number 9. Some poison dart frogs contain enough toxin to kill 10 people. A honeybee has 5 eyes, 3 small ones on the top of its head and 2 large ones in the front. Bones about it. Fish aren't the only sea creatures that can be hazardous to your health. Some ocean invertebrates can be just as deadly. Box jellyfish. You may have been stung by a jellyfish, but the box jellyfish is in a class by itself. Each of its tentacles has thousands of tiny stinging cells. Together, they pack enough toxins to kill 60 people, and death can come in just 4 minutes. Blue-ringed octopus. A blue-ringed octopus is the size of a golf ball, but it has a deadly bite. Most of the time, the octopus uses its toxic saliva to catch crabs and shrimp, but its powerful poison can paralyze up to 20 people. Within minutes, anything that attacks this little octopus stops breathing and dies. Weird but true. A blue-ringed octopus's skin is usually yellowish brown, but bright blue spots or even rings suddenly appear when the octopus feels scared. Small but deadly. The ocean isn't the only place on Earth with small, deadly creatures. They also live in fields and forests, wetlands, and deserts. Poison dart frogs. Scientists think that poison dart frogs eat toxic insects that make them deadly. Touch the slimy skin of these brightly colored creatures, and you could be dead in minutes. Toxic tidbit. Some native forest peoples catch poison dart frogs, collect their venom, and rub it on darts they use to hunt. That's how the frogs got their name. Honeybees help us by pollinating many of our favorite fruits, vegetables, and nuts, but they can also be deadly. About 1 in 4,000 people is severely allergic to bee venom and can die after just one sting if left untreated. But all the toxin from a stinging swarm of angry bees can kill anyone. Deadly definitions. Pollinate, to transfer pollen from one flower to another, allowing plants to make fruit and seeds. Weird but true. Bee breeding is the practice of attracting bees to the human body by hanging the queen from the chin. Scorpions. A scorpion's huge claw-like pincers are its weapon of choice. If a predator attacks or its prey puts up a fight, zap! A swift strike with the stinger on its tail usually does the trick. The stinger contains a hollow tube connected to 2 sacs full of venom. The scorpion controls the amount of venom its stinger delivers, so bigger victims get a bigger dose. Death toll. Of the nearly 2,000 scorpion species alive today, only 30 to 40 have venom strong enough to kill humans. Still, thousands of people die each year after scorpion stings. Sydney funnel web spider. Small and shiny, dark and deadly. That's how people in Australia describe the Sydney funnel web spider. Most of the time, this spider uses its sharp fangs and deadly venom to catch insects and other prey. But if a person gets too close, the spider won't hesitate to bite. Toxic tidbit. Scientists developed medicine to protect people from Sydney funnel web spider venom in 1981. No one has died from its bite since. Deadliest of all. So what's the deadliest animal of all? The mosquito. That pesky little insect with the whiny hum. Mosquitoes carry some of the worst diseases on Earth, including malaria and West Nile virus. When a mosquito sucks blood from an animal, germs can enter the victim's body. That's why it's a good idea to use bug spray when there are insects around. From tiny mosquitoes to gigantic elephants, the world's deadliest animals come in all sizes and shapes. And they live in every habitat you can think of. But each of them has a special way of keeping themselves safe in a dangerous world. Death toll. Each year, 2 to 3 million people die from diseases transmitted by mosquitoes. Glossary. Let's go over the glossary. Allergic. When the body responds to something with a rash, breathing trouble, or even death. Carnivore. An animal that eats the meat of other animals. Herbivore. An animal that eats plants. Invertebrate. An animal with no backbone. Paralyzed. Unable to move. Pollinate. To transfer pollen from one flower to another, allowing plants to make fruit and seeds. Prey. An animal that is eaten by other animals. Predator. An animal that hunts and eats other animals. Species. A group of similar creatures that can mate and produce healthy young. Toxic. Poisonous, capable of causing injury or death. A toxic substance is called a toxin. Venom, a poisonous liquid inside some animals' bodies.